Haha, I'm back, and I'm not fucking sick anymore. Anyways, today I'm going to be discussing my favorite movie of all time and why Coraline is not only a masterpiece, but possibly one of the best films ever made of all time. The unique symbolism in this movie starts it down a path of mystery even from the beginning. The Beldam, or Other Mother, plays tricks on you by showing a floating doll coming through the window. She starts to dearrange the doll and takes its stuffing out and button eyes. Later on in the movie, if you pay close attention, you find out the doll is Wybie's grandmother's sister that she had lost in the Pink Palace so long ago. Taking the empty husk of the doll, the Beldam begins a new filling. The same doll with sewing brand new eyes, blue hair, a beautiful yellow raincoat to boot, and sends it out to the sky. Looking closely at the sewing machine, you notice a web which foreshadows that the Beldam is a spider monster of some sort. Our introduction to the character of Coraline Jones introduces her as an adventurous kid who is trying to look for freedom and adventure. After moving away from Michigan, having to start fresh, Coraline grabs a stick from a bush, moving the leaves out of the way later, to then get a rash. Before that, we are introduced to some of our side casts in the shape of an ominous black cat and Wybie, a more than likely Puerto Rican Afro-Latino. First, the creation of the character to market the safety net of Coraline having some type of friend to help her just in case is absolutely genius. Seeing in the original book of Coraline, there was no such thing as Wybie. The story leads you into a false sense of hope, and it's not even just Wybie. The movie tries to do this on purpose through many false senses of blankets that may not seem as obvious as Wybie. Another one being the black cat, who allows Coraline to have someone else to talk to in her times of need, instead of going through the traumatic experience by herself, and to you, the viewer, feeling as alone as her. To even the color of her raincoat, they try to elaborate the fact of a safety net over Coraline. Yup, you heard me. Even the raincoat. Did you know scientifically the color yellow is supposed to be associated with the thoughts of calming, gentle, happiness, and, of course, innocence? You don't believe me? Look at other figures who wear the same yellow raincoat in the same subgenre. Georgie in the movie It, and Six in the horror adventure video game Little Nightmares. This is pre-planned to make the innocence feel as a cover before they rip the metaphorical blanket off you and scare the absolute living shit out of you, with the craziest scenes possible. When the father is typing on the computer about the compositions of materials and roses, it fitly describes what they do at the end of Coraline. When Coraline goes out of her way to count all the windows, one of the boys in the painting is what I believe to be the only male child out of the three, the one played by Henry Selick's son. By the defining features of both their hair, facial similarities, eye color, and timing of said painting. On some real shit though, why is the other mother so fucking fine? Like, this bitch is low-key a baddie, and I don't care if she's a spider. I want to see what that arachnid could do, if you catch my drift. Anyways, after meeting the other mother, John Hogman, who plays the other father, sings and plays one of the best animated hits to this day, making up a song about Coraline.
Piano plays me. Ugh.
Making up a song about Coraline. She's a peach, she's a doll, she's a pal of mine. She's as cute as a button in the eyes of everyone who ever laid their eyes on Coraline. When she comes around exploring, Mom and I will never ever make it boring. Our eyes will be on Coraline.
Now, if you have daddy issues, I know damn well that would have had you in fucking tears just listening to that stunning piece. Something about Coraline you have to understand is that, in a way, there are two directive narratives you could take. For an example, an adult watching the movie may think Coraline is too rash and judges her parents too quickly without understanding all the hard work they are putting in and doing to give her a normal life, even after everything to have to start over again from scratch. While a younger audience may believe in the narrative that the parents are the issue and are giving Coraline enough attention, therefore it is a direct result of the consequences that happen later in the film, which makes Coraline such an interesting and magnificent watch leading down either of these two paths, leaves the discussion open for debate, which can have watchers revisiting it still to be debating on it from years to come. Coraline visits around the building, introducing herself and meeting her neighbors, which becomes the only interesting things for her in the current world. So, when she meets them on the other side, it makes the story more realistic. Another good thing that was done in the making of the movie from the adaptation of the book was making Coraline go to the other side longer than she originally did in the book. She stays on the other side for only one day and escapes said same day, instead of having to go back home to her parents. I love how, during the entrance of the movie, the other mother plays it off as they're simply just the other parents before making it as they are actually just the better parents instead. When the father shows the gift of the garden to Coraline, noting how she knows her like the back of her hand, foreshadowing she knows way too much about Coraline, including what she'll love and all her flaws, and what she needs in life, which makes the rewatch so much better when seeing it all over again. I love the details coming into place when watching the film, such as Wybie being shunned by the other mother out of the house, and the cat being able to talk to the other Wybie in the story. The fact these puppets made up by the other mother have no free control but don't actually want to do any harm shows how creative the story had been, giving them some sort of range in the story. How can you walk away from something and end up back around the whole world? Small world. The other mother created only what Coraline deemed necessary to entertain her and trap her in what she had. When being trapped behind the mirror behind the other mother, it's a clever scene to show that behind the mirror is where the souls of the children before her are trapped, in a place where you can see your reflection, a mirroring of yourself. The fact that Wybie was the one to free Coraline from the trapped mirror and help her get home free shows how the puppets that work for the Beldam, since they have personifications of the people they copied, act just like them. But some of them have a stronger control of their abilities. An example of that is the comparison between the father and Wybie. The candy that is given to Coraline to make her triangle stone, which was from the 1920s, is around the same timing as the tall ghost girl's either creation or demise. When Coraline cries to herself having her pillow parents, you can feel how sad she is during the story, having lost her parents. And the way the Beldam's eyes shine when she hears the fact that Coraline wants to play a game shows off her childish ways. As the fictional world crumbles down, and even the decal of the wall, the only thing that stands true to the world is the Pink Palace. Even in the other world, it's something that will stand tall. As the Beldam is going after Coraline, she's in the form of a spider to exemplify being caught in a spider's trap in the story. The parents being in the snow globe was also a smart move to show that they were trapped. Coraline's parents were trapped in her home, Michigan, Detroit. As the story comes to a close, Wybie believes Coraline, and they smash the Beldam's hand, free the spirits, and hide away the key for good. They have a garden party where they explain everything to Wybie's grandmother, and the cat disappears away into the distance behind a sign. The beauty of the storytelling of Coraline is that you don't actually know if everything you're seeing is real as you may believe, which has something that, honestly, the fans of the movie still question to this day what actually happened at the end. Now, I could do another video in the future talking about Coraline theories and other stuff of the sort, so if you would like more Coraline type of content, please comment below. It would honestly mean the world to me. And till next time, I'll see you. Bye-bye.
That's all it is, Miles. A leap of faith.
Like, what's up, danger? Like, what's up, danger? Like, what's up, danger?